So keep going. Terry is going to. She's not coming back here.
Okay.
So she's gonna take it first.
There was something big right down.
Yeah, it's one of her sticky notes.
Oh, okay.
Alright. We got approval of the consent agenda.
I make a motion, we approve the consent agenda minus payroll and add unpaid bills 15,149 to 15,168, totaling 99,7591.
I'll second. Any discussion?
Can you just read the numbers that you said one more time?
Yep, 15,149 to 15,168,
And the total amount?
99,7591.
Thank you.
Did they have a second?
I second. Okay. Roll call.
Lucy excused, Laura excused, Selinsky, yes, Worth, yes, Davis,
Yes.
okay,
Excuse me, in lieu of a PA system.
I'm sorry.
Can we ask you to use your outside voices like there's lots of traffic?
Yes, I'm sorry.
everybody else excused those.
Okay, so we just approved the consent agenda minus payroll.
Okay, we need to approve payroll, but because the deputy clerk is an appointed official, so to speak, but an employee, so to speak, we are to approve the 2.5 hours that she went over the 20 that were approved, which would technically leave payroll the same, but it'll just change the check number and stuff, so. That's why I removed the payroll.
Okay. You want to just make that motion?
She was gonna say something.
I can't say anything until you make a motion.
She was gonna say.
But, and I realize I can't say anything until you make a motion and second it.
It was fine.
Did you want to make the motion?
No.
Okay. All right. I'll make the motion and we approve the extra 2.5 hours for the deputy clerk. She went over her 20 training hours.
We weren't training.
They were training 20 hours.
I'll second. And now I can speak, right?
Yes.
So I'm sorry for any confusion, but I did call MTA to confirm that, and unless there's like a breakdown, because we did as a board approve 20 hours, and unless there's a breakdown on the timesheet of what those hours are for, so that there's a clear indication of what they're being paid for, then it technically appears that it's not approved. So I'm just asking,
Correct.
going forward, that we make a note of what.
I
the hours are
just
for.
have to watch those,
Yeah.
because I just look at them just like yours.
Right.
When she hands them in,
Yep, so sorry for any confusion, I just
so,
wanted to make sure that was accurate.
yeah, that's. To Selinsky,
Yes?
Worth, yes, Davis?
Yes. Now payroll is approved. County Commissioner.
Thanks, Dave. Excuse me. Commissioner Janot gave a written report. It's in with the packet. It was a pretty uneventful month for us. I don't have a lot to add to that, so. Our next meeting is tomorrow morning, if anybody wants to go.
This is me, not me.
Yeah.
9 o'clock?
Yes.
Dave?
Last month, there were 8 calls. I was kind of surprised when I started pulling up the total that it was a slow month. knock on wood, saying snow, because this month has started out with a bang already. Looked like 5 medical calls and 3 that we were dispatched and canceled to. One of those was a accident in Elmira. One was our own medical call that Ben's EMS was there because it was just down the road and they canceled us because they could handle the call. And then another call into Grand Traverse that we canceled before we got there because they handled it. We had I put in the packet a quote for a new portable radio. We had our radio go bad. It's 8 years old. They're electronic. That's why it's expensive. $4,485.60. Some of those were the line items where it says like the license, like the Kenwood Bluetooth license included. Some of these licenses, like the Kenwood P25 Phase 1 trunking license, we can take off because Kenwood's going to take them off the old portable that doesn't work anymore and reactivate them on a new one. But when they get quotes, they automatically just give the whole price for everything. So, and I don't know which exact ones will come off, but I had one spare to give to the person that was broke, but like to have a spare because the problem is not getting the portable because the portable will be here in 2 weeks. It's going to be 3 to 4 months before the state can program it because it has to go to the state with the whole system. They are backed up because there's a county downstate that has over 4,000 portables and radios that they have to touch, and they go first come, first serve, so we're waiting for them. It's an average of about 3 to 4 months for the state to get radios back. So I'm looking for a request. I do have it budgeted in my normal fund budget. That's why there's like, we put $10,000 in that line item because we know that these are expensive.
Okay. Well, so just.
For a new portable radio, the cost that on the quote was $4,485.60.
What fund? Sorry, not the new equipment fund. Is it?
No, my normal fund,
Just
the
regular.
206
Go, sir.
under communications. There should be over 6,000 roughly,
Okay.
$5,800 I think in that account.
Make a motion, we approve for the fire chief to buy a new portable radio, up to $4,485.60 out of the 206 fund.
I believe we did receive a check for cost recovery.
Second that.
Oh, sorry.
I haven't seen it yet, it wasn't here Thursday.
It just arrived.
Is there a shipping cost with that name at all?
No,
Do we, okay.
no, that goes right, so then I pick it up and then we're going
Okay.
to drop it off because he's our township president.
Roll call?
Zelinski,
Yes.
Worth, yes. Davis?
Yes.
Thank you, Therese, for getting the interest on this form.
Well, it's the way the dates worked out this time.
I know I've been asking
I know.
and it's
Right,
here,
and
so
Linda
I want
confirmed
to
when you were here, yeah.
thank you for, getting it, so I know that, how much money that we're getting on interest, so I can stay top of it. Other than that, that's about it that I have for now.
Parks and Rec?
I'm gonna stand up because everybody tells me I don't talk loud. I think I'll shout. I wrote a report, not because I wasn't sure I was gonna be here, but I'm here, so I'm just gonna read. This is for the Lamb Road Natural Area Park, and this is a 2023 progress report. The goals for this year were first to complete laying out and clearing the 2 main trails planned for the park. We haven't given them names yet, but the first was initiated last year and connects the small parking area to the main entrance by 2 routes. That trail was laid out last year and completed this year. It passes through the fern meadow and winds through the forest with 2 choices offered. It has seen some use this year. We completed putting up the hiking trail signs, 10 of them. The perimeter trail was laid out this year, and part of it is clear. We're still working on opening up the remainder. We kind of got caught up in just, personal health stuff, and old age and all that other stuff kind of crept up on us, and we didn't quite get it finished. And weather. But we're working on the remainder of it. I don't think we're probably going to finish this year. There was a shortage of able-bodied labor, and some, one of the things that's a problem for all of us is that the young people have to work. They have to go to jobs, and and so they're not available to do all this volunteer work that we're trying to get them to do. So our second goal was to get the driveway and the parking area excavated and gravelled. So this work was contracted and completed by Kirby Excavating this past summer, and we're very pleased with the work that they've done. I don't know how many of you have gone out there to visit the park and see, but they did a really good job, I thought. We were able to lay a split rail fence around the parking area with 2 openings to the trails. We also decided to install a metal locked gate that would allow entrance to fire and other safety equipment if needed. And that work was completed November 5th, so that gate is there. Dayton, it's for you.
Yeah, I know.
We've installed 2 information boxes at the entrances, which will contain a map and other information. I have one of our young volunteers has put together has put together a couple maps to go in these boxes. So this is what they're going to look like. I give them to the board to look at. It shows the trails that we've got in place so far, and what we don't have is the mileage or the distance for each part. So if anybody has one of those little cute little rolly things, that measures how far you've gone, we would really like to borrow it, and so we can put those numbers on the map. The maps. And then these maps will go in those 2 boxes that we just installed.
Peggy, you just pass one on there too.
Yeah. That's
The Lamb Road Park, it's on the corner of Cinder and Lamb Road, actually. You have to access it off Cinder Road. So I would encourage anybody who likes to walk, Rudy and Rita, yeah, let them know about that, that the trails are really nice, that the drive-in is actually nice. You don't tear your car up going into it now, and the parking area is really nice, and we walk a little bit of the trail too. So it's a nice wildlife trail.
Well, last week when we were over there working on the perimeter trail, a couple came along behind us, and they sort of found the trail. It's marked, but it's pretty rough. They found it. They just moved to Lamb Road. They just moved into the township, and they were looking for hiking trails. And they came up behind us. We were kind of surprised that anybody could even find it. And they were very impressed. And the guy was somebody who works on the Bessie Valley Trail. He's in charge of maintenance for the Bessie Valley Trail. So he thought we had done a pretty good job of marking it out.
Did you recruit him?
Huh?
Did you recruit him?
Yeah, well, yeah, I did try, yes.
Oh.
He said he might,
good.
we help out. So, the 5 basswood trees that y'all paid for, that we bought, that were sitting in my vegetable garden all summer being watered, are now in the ground at the park. We planted them around the parking area so we could take care of them. So the main trail that goes down through a meadow, a fern meadow, and then up the hill to the other little parking area. We've been able to mow that. Glenn has mowed that. So we're able to keep that open in the summertime without using the little electric weed whacker that we tried to use at first. It's a little bit better with the mower. So the list of volunteers that we added to the Parks and Rec Committee over this past season, which includes those that are working on the Lake Ann Park as well. It's a much longer list than those who have actually been working on this part. You know, they're hard to get a hold of, some of the people, and some of them are not working on the Lamb Road part, they're working on the other one. So the Lamb Road crew is made up of what we are now calling the Homestead Road Trailblazers, because we all live on Homestead Road, except for Royce and Glenn. And I just wanted you to know who they are, because I think they deserve some credit. And I also wanted to thank the board for being really helpful and cooperative with us all. And, you know, and letting us kind of go ahead and do what we thought needed to be done. And you've been very good at facilitating all of those things. We have more things to ask you, of course.
Next spring.
Get your list ready here. But, so the Homestead Road Trailblazers are made up of Jean and myself, the two old ladies, my son Sean, and my granddaughter Harper, who's only 10 years old, but they do a lot of work. Our neighbors, Jenny Mitchell and Keith Pratcher. Keith is 19, he's the one that does the maps, and he's the chief trailblazer. He's the one who likes to really get out there and cut these trails. Glenn Worth does trail maintenance, Rose does administrative support, and that's it. That's the people who kind of put this part together so far. So we feel pretty good about what we've done. There's a lot more we wanted to do this year, but you know, we did what we could. So what we want is, we want a little pavilion. I'm just going to ask for it one more time, that we want to put near the parking lot. So we want to spend some of that. Hopefully you'll decide to spend some of that nice ARPA money that's just sitting there waiting to be spent. And it has to be spent in the next year or we lose it. And we're gonna work on picnic tables and stuff, benches and stuff like that next year. So we're kind of shut down for as far as our work goes, we're kind of shut down for the season. But the trail should be available for snowshoeing and, you know, stuff like that. That's it.
On the benches and stuff for the park. Get my Boy Scout and see if you can get a Eagle Scout to do a program there.
Yeah, we tried to, if you know of one, of a group, would you let me know, because we tried to contact them at one point, couldn't find it.
Alright.
Well, we were thinking of having a workshop kind of thing at the park, where people would bring found items and extra wood and stuff that they might have lying around home, and my son, who likes to do carpentry and stuff, would hold a little workshop and have people make their own benches. And then we would put them out at the park, so that's a possibility.
And then in addition to that, getting a couple of quotes together for redoing the playground area and adding some equipment there. And then also still waiting on the final numbers on possibly adding something like this towards the back. It's like a all-purpose sports court. Does tennis, pickleball, basketball, has a track, and soccer nets all built into it. Once I get everything together, I'll make a better presentation of everything, but like Peggy said, we do have that ARPA money that was set aside for the parks that need to get set aside or pinpointed at what projects they're going for, so we can start getting them going in the spring.
Is that for the Lamb Park?
Nope, that would be for
The other part.
Lake Ann Road, the Inland Township Park.
That's 200,000, the ARPA fund.
Fire Association? Or-
Janice, how was the trunk or treat?
I mean, we had some cars there, we had some people coming, and then some people left, except for me and Cindy, and we just put everything inside, and when they would come, we told them to fill up their bags. And we stayed here until 7:30, and let them check out the trucks, brought them inside.
Thank you.
Alright, planning. Mary's not here.
No.
You have anything?
We had voted at our last meeting to hire Rose as our recording secretary, because I've been
Right.
having to do it and I don't want to, so. We have to ask you guys, I think that's.
Yeah, it's on the agenda.
And then we were also asking the board to look at hiring a planner,
Yes.
because we wanna rewrite the zoning, but we want it to not just, we've done it before, but all we did was correct like spelling errors, and now we're trying to get it to more like match and concise, so, and that, at that last meeting where the lawyer was here, he recommended that we hire a planner to help us, cause, you know, we're just volunteers, we don't know,
It's on there.
yeah, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it looks like I saw a thing from Sarah.
Yep.
Who has a history with us, so.
Yeah, I put out for a couple of different quotes. A lot of people just recommended other people who recommended other people that might have space for us.
Okay.
But, I got Sarah and then,
North Networks, Northwest.
yeah, Networks Northwest, which is like our regional provider. They do the county and everything else, so.
Yeah, because we meet once a month, and it was like, we would attempt to work on one section, and then someone would submit a permit or request, and that would derail us. So we got a good start, and then we just went off on 3 or 4 different things, and so it's like, if we had somebody else doing it, and then maybe we had some special meetings that were just only for that, cause it's hard to kinda go all over the place, so. But, yeah, other than those 2 things, I think that's about it.
And, zoning and blight did not send a report that I saw. Board member reports.
I just did a little total, just so everybody knows, so I transferred the money from the general fund to the intervised sweep account, it's called, where it actually gains a lot more interest, and so since doing that, we have earned $4,116 in interest. Instead of the $16 on average we were earning a month in the regular checking account.
Nice.
Is that 1 month?
No, that is, the very first month we put it in right at the end of the month, so that month we only earned $65. September we earned $1,985, and then last month $2,065. And
2 months.
All right. Old business, early voting site. You just have to approve this as an early voting site, right?
Yep, just have to approve it.
The next year's elections being 9 days, we have to have a early voting site approved by the board, so we're
So,
just gonna keep it here.
yep. I move that we use Inland Township offices and fire department as an early voting site.
I'll second.
My only question, I'm not opposed to it, I'm just curious about the rules, because I know that there was some talk about letting everybody do their early voting right at the county building, is that not gonna be a thing?
County isn't willing to do that. Something, and she said that they're not gonna do it at the county. So, either way, we still would have had to provide staff, and we would have had to provide the equipment over there anyway, so. Do it here,
And if it does change and they do it at the county, I mean, it doesn't,
Well,
we're
I
not
think
saying it
it's
can't be
for the
there.
people who don't have places, you know,
Right.
for all the townships that don't have places.
yeah. But we can, our agreement is based on a year, so this year's agreement through 2024 is going to be, we're doing it here. And then if things change with the county, then we can go into a municipality thing, agreement.
Has the state actually given some guidelines on what you guys need to do? I didn't think
Some,
so. So, well, it's the state.
some.
I know, sorry, dumb
It's-
question.
Don't worry, it's a joke among us clerks too.
Okay.
So,
No money, right?
No, well,
possibly?
depends
Alright,
on what,
we'll
you
just
have
roll
to
call
use
it.
the lights, so we'll just roll call it. Sounds good to me. Solinsky?
Yeah.
Worth, yes. Davis?
Yes. Alright, Knox box ordinance.
In your packet was given the revisions from the attorney.
This one?
That just had the one page with section 6 and section 7 on it. I changed those and then I reprinted the ordinance out for you guys.
What's the prison sentence for a second offense? No,
That's now taken out.
no,
Yep, is it in the green?
I don't know, I didn't read it. No.
Oh, okay. So there might be a liner, but he said a lot of
Oh,
stuff.
no,
that was
it's not
taken
in
out.
green.
So it's not in the new one, I think it got taken out. Cause it didn't follow that MCL.
No. Subject to imprisonment to the extent allowed by the law for punishment of summary offenses.
Well, that would be on the judge.
What are you in?
I did.
With a lock.
And I didn't have this, so I didn't give it a number of date, and I'm sorry. It's gonna be ordinance number 2023.
Alright, so just so everybody knows, this only applies to not residential, commercial buildings that have the, what do you call it, the fire suppression system, or not suppression?
It'll be any new building, new commercial and governmental buildings, schools, whether public or private multifamily buildings having 4 or more dwelling units under the same ownership. That's for new. For existing commercial buildings, all commercial and governmental buildings with a fire suppression system or fire alarm system, which would only be one, and that's the Dollar General. Which they're already aware when they first built, we were told them, but we didn't have this in place yet, so they didn't have to get it.
And we have to publish this too.
Correct.
So,
Published before? No.
no,
We
we
have to
publish
revise,
this, yeah, tomorrow we send it off to, yep, and
Okay.
make it ordinance number 11, make ordinance 2023-11.
Okay. Alright. Make a motion that we approve ordinance number 2023-11, Knox box ordinance.
Do you want to include publication in it?
Oh, yeah, and published in the Record Patriot.
Guess I'll second that. And we'll talk about
Any discussion?
How long do people have to, I mean, is this taking effect immediately, and how long do people have if they don't have one to come up to code for this?
It's on the back page when it takes effect. 30 days after publication.
30 days
After
after this.
publication,
after
okay, and so
publication,
they have
this
just
takes
those
effect.
30 days to come and
And
comply?
then I will talk to them and we will work something out, because if it's gonna take a week or two to order it and stuff, it's based on them actually doing something in that, yes.
So we really only have one place right now that's gonna impact?
That has to get it, since we did this, yes. Because the New Covenant Christian Academy, they already have something in place, which I'll take with that, because it's just a code. And then the schools bought theirs, Lake Ann Elementary has bought theirs to match with the new school and then the high school, so, and it's only gonna be for general dollar at this time, because they have a fire suppression system. And they don't want to get their window broke or their glass door broke every time that they have a fire alarm there.
Roll call?
Zelinski? Yes. Worth, yes. Davis?
Yes. The park trees. We have oak wilt in Inland Township Park. And it's spreading, so we only have the one quote, but trying to get them taken out as soon as possible before it spreads more.
Dave, has whoever diagnosed it over there looked at the Land Road Park?
You know, was there some out there?
Not that I know of, that's why I'm just a little concerned. As far as I know, we don't have it, we had the forester look at it, but that was a year ago.
Okay, and citizen came to us because somebody had clipped on their own
And,
at the wrong time of year, and that is kind of what.
okay. Well, we'll keep an eye.
And the neighbor's trees have wilt, so just try to prevent the rest of the park from getting it. So this is something that needs to be done for the safety.
What do they do, cutting them down or?
They have to cut them down and
Treat it.
No, there's no treating it.
You have to do it between October and March.
Yeah. One other thing with the oak wilt, it's spread by the roots. And those trees, 3 root systems should be cut around in that area. I don't see that included in this description, but that's important if we're trying to stop it from spreading. And the reality is, depending on how close those trees are, it's probably already spread.
Yeah, I think they were coming from the
Yeah,
property that's
it's-
behind the town, behind the park. 'Cause
Yeah,
that's where, but this was actually for a lot more money, but I believe it was 4 or 6 of the trees weren't on our property, so we can't
can't do
legally
that.
cut them down. So we can only take care of what's ours.
Did you talk to the county arborist about this? It's a free service from the conservation district. They would have some really good input on how best to protect the rest of the trees. I
We
don't know
can
how
do
many
that, yeah,
oaks.
after we're done with these, we
Yeah,
can,
it doesn't cost anything. You
Go ahead
just
and-
have them come out.
And I'll call him
So,
tomorrow.
yeah.
Who diagnosed these trees as having this? I don't know anything about it.
it was
so-
confirmed, but, several people that use the park and walk back there, several people, it wasn't just one person called and told us, so we actually had Partial went out there, and he's an arborist, and, diagnosed him with that. I don't remember, you called somebody else too, didn't you?
Yeah. We didn't have time.
Well, the district arborist will come out and do it for nothing, a diagnosis.
Yeah, that way he can, tell us, like Jim said, how to prevent and protect the rest of our trees.
She'll send it in for testing too, into Lancet to confirm.
You wanna
So,
have him look at it, or do you wanna?
well, in my opinion, this is something that we have to have done. We need to get it done before it infects more trees.
Right.
And by waiting, it infects, we run that risk of it infecting more trees. But,
Is the neighbor cutting theirs down, or?
I don't know who owns that property.
So it spreads through the roots though, right? And when's the best time to cut it down, did you say?
Well,
Now.
wintertime, when it goes dormant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's really, you cut the trees down, but you still have the roots, and
Yeah, they're,
that can
It's
still
so you're
cause
supposed
issues.
to pull those up too.
It's quite substantial what they have to do to stop it, and it's pretty amazing how far back they have to go as far as numbers of trees.
It's like,
It
Roots are
spreads,
usually as big as the tree underneath.
it spreads otherwise, there's an insect involved too, isn't there, an insect vector as well?
It's a fungus or something.
Fungus, yeah.
When you trim yours at the wrong time of year or something, right?
Yep, exactly,
You make it
during the
work.
summer. And if you're looking to replant oaks, do white oak, because they're resistant to the fungus.
but there's only one quote?
Yeah.
From one company, we don't need three?
We called more.
Yeah.
They're all busy, you can't get anybody to
Can't
come,
get anybody.
period.
I called 3 for the cemetery, 2 showed up and 1 never emailed me back, so. It's like, okay.
They're months out.
But we did try to get set up for this one too.
Well, I mean, at a minimum, we know the trees are coming down. We want to at least take it this far, go with the county arborist, see if there's more we need to do.
So this is, quote is just for one tree though.
No,
No,
that's
5.
for,
It says 1 oak spread, 2 logs pickup.
yeah, that's number 1. There's 5 trees marked, yes.
Okay.
We-
Oh,
we-
okay, I couldn't read out,
Yeah,
maybe things in parentheses there. 2 trees are left on the sidewalk. So for 5 trees, really actually not.
yeah, 5 trees, right?
No, that's,
So if it wasn't something that we have to get done,
Yeah.
I would say we would do more, but
Well, I make a motion that we at least get this part done. I'll get the county arborist out there and see if what they do, they feel is enough, or we need more.
okay. So your motion is to at least get this part done?
Yes. I make a motion that
Okay.
we
Okay.
hire Parcels Tree Service to remove the 5 trees with stump removal for a total of $2,975.
Okay, so.
Kate, have you talked to Robert, will you ask her if she will come back to the Lamb Road and take a look at that? Because there is a spot there that she has us watching. There was some dead oaks, so it wouldn't hurt to have her look at that.
Yep, I'll let her know what's going on here and just tell her that we want all the parks checked.
So, motion is to hire partial to remove 5 trees with stump removal. That's the motion. Okay, for $2,975.
Yep.
Okay, do we have a second? Okay, I'll second.
I just have, so I'm not familiar with this oak disease at all. What, is it clearly visible on the trees?
Yeah, it starts,
No.
From the
How
top
does it
down.
Yeah.
The leaves fall off completely from the top down.
And it happened before all the other groups.
And it happens pretty quickly.
Okay. I just curious. I mean, I really like oak trees, and so I just don't want to come down if we don't have to. So I want to confirm that we know for certain they have it.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
Lamb
Or
Road,
cut 'em.
the Lamb Road is full of oak trees, so it's a little pain.
Yeah, you gotta stop it.
You gotta stop it.
Stop it.
Because nowhere on his quote does he mention that, or you would think he would say that they've had that disease. You know what I'm saying? That's just my question. Okay. I'm not familiar with it at
Just go
all.
over east of Kingsley, you see what looks like the whole forest. Dead oak
Yep.
trees.
That's sad.
Go ahead and roll call.
Zelinski,
Yes.
Worth, yes, Davis?
Yes. All right, Headley Commission. So, the county is looking at, putting on the ballot for 2024, a Headley rollback which will allow them to, not in the amendment, is it?
It goes,
You have the book?
I didn't bring the book in, no, but the book explains that, Laura's got it, explains some of the stuff that Headley's got, but
Yeah.
in essence, they want to,
Basically,
back to
every
the
year,
original.
they have to lower how many mills they've been taking. It was approved for 5.29 mills back in 1982, and they've rolled back every year since then. Well, not every year. Some years they didn't have to because of, inflation, the other one. But, so they're looking to roll it, basically restart it back then, and then vote on it more often than every 41 years. What they're asking for us is, basically whether we as a board would support them putting together a commission to look into doing this. In the end, it'll pretty much depend on the county commissioners, whether they put it on the ballot, and then it'll be up to the voters whether it goes forward or is denied. But yeah, they're just asking for us as a board to support them putting together a commission, putting this out there. We have pamphlets like this up at the front window, and everybody can take a look at it, and I look forward to hearing your public comments next month.
Does it raise our taxes?
It will.
Okay,
That's what we all wanted
Completely.
to know,
wait,
right?
wait a minute.
But
Evan is on the commission.
yes,
He can
it also rolls
explain
in
this.
different special villages.
So back
But
in 1982, the county said we were one of, I think, only 12 counties in the whole state. But when we set our millage, we set it indefinitely. So since that time, every year with Headley, it rolls back and we take in less and less money, where all the other counties had different, whether it be 5 years or 10 years, where it would automatically reset to the original. So we've been basically our hands tied because every year it goes down and down and down, and we're looking to reset it. One of our goals is to eliminate, when you see your tax bill, you see, 20, not 20, but quite a few different single millages to run different things. And our goal is to not levy those millages and put all of them back into the general fund. So the taxes will go up, but not drastically. And every year after, I think we want to set it for 5 years, every 5 years. So it'll keep rolling back those 5 years and then go back up, which every other county now, I think there's only 2 of us left in the state that are still indefinite.
So,
How come it hasn't gone to nothing since the 80s? Since the 80s.
good question.
you'll read in that paper why, in that book why, but for now, they just want to know if our board will support them in going ahead with the commission. It's not gonna raise taxes yet or anything, it's not gonna do anything like that, it's just saying that we support them looking at it, because it affects us as a township as well, because our mills have rolled back too, our millages, our operating expenses have moved back as well. And what we learned at this meeting was that just because the county puts it on the ballot, doesn't mean that the townships have to revert back to the original two mills or whatever mills we had in 1982. We can opt out of doing that. So that's why this is going forward, because as a township board, I know I probably would say we're fine with not raising our taxes the way, increasing them, but the county has that right to do that. So, but they're giving each township the right to decide if we want to increase ours, so we're just,
So are you having a public hearing on it?
we won't have a public hearing on this until after the county is done
Yeah,
with what
this
they're.
is, it's just, we're just asking for support from all the different townships
To just put together a
to
commission,
put together
To
the
look
commission
into it.
to look into it.
but
And if we don't get the buy-in from all the townships, then we're not gonna do it.
But yeah, before we raised our taxes, yeah, we would definitely have a
yeah,
public hearing, that's.
yeah. Now, this is just whether we want to support putting the commission together. And I'm just putting it out there that this is what's going on so people can get the information, learn and.
And the presentation that it was October 30th that we had, it is on the county website, so it's available for everybody to see.
So what do you think the advantage of lumping all the taxes into one is, just so that people are more likely, you think, to vote pass them all than
So
individually?
there's kind of two ways to look at it, right? Sometimes the discussion is whether, people want to vote à la carte on the things that
Right.
they like. Like I like animal control, but I don't like EMS, or I like this,
Right,
and I don't like that. So then you as a taxpayer can say, I can vote no on this millage or that
Right.
on that millage, but but then we have some funds that, say they need to buy a new ambulance this year, and there's not enough funds, but you can't take, but then the school resource officer this one year might have extra, but by law, because they're each in their
Okay,
own, you
makes sense.
can't move it, so it's just more flexibility to keep all of them going.
Next is the planner.
Are we gonna vote on that?
No, that was just information. It's-
No, we have to,
We don't have to vote until it's called, or whatever.
oh, we don't,
Yeah.
Evan, when do you need this, when do you guys need this back?
I don't know if they even said when, she didn't say when.
Yeah.
But I would think the sooner the better, because to get that commission put together. So,
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah,
You need
I
to-
mean, Art was kind of like, don't shove it down anybody's throat.
yeah, and if
Everybody
you want,
knows
I
about
mean,
it.
if you wanna wait till the next meeting,
Yeah.
so, Mary and Sharon, I mean,
Yeah,
with them not
Okay.
being here and give you more time too, to, anybody
Okay.
wants to look at the presentation on the website,
I would like to go.
and there's a big stack of the pamphlets at the doorway as well, so it explains it a lot better than I can.
So I'll put that into.
all right, planner. So I reached out to, I think, 8 companies in total. None of my original ones had time for us, they kept recommending other people. Finally got an answer back from, Sarah, who's our old zoning and planning, from Beckett and Rader, sorry. Theirs is $30,000. And then, Networks Northwest, who's like our regional, planning they do for the county and everything else. Their total cost for the minimum, which they laid out everything they do, is $17,400, and then we can also add extra meetings, extra surveys, anything like that. So, one of the big things that, why their costs are so much lower, is actually all the other planners would have to pay them for some of the information that they already have for free, because they are the regional, it's not regional planners, but
The MSU even says to check, do Networks Northwest before you go anywhere else.
I'm working for a master plan review
this next year,
next year or
Yeah.
the fall.
2025,
Five, I thought.
it's when we have to
Get review for 5, or we have to put a new one in place?
It has to be reviewed
Every
2024.
5 years.
5 years.
So it has to be taken care of by 2025,
Right.
and that's what they've been working on. Is going through different sections, but they would really like a planner to help with some of these things that they as a board can't, as a commission can't
Right.
do, and have their opinion on it as well, so.
Yeah. So,
If I can offer an opinion, I was on the planning commission for Benzie, and they use Networks Northwest. And obviously, being on the planning commission here, using Sarah, I would highly recommend Networks Northwest. Very professional.
okay. Yeah.
So
And
this
just
has
for
to be-
me, I would like a fresh set of eyes, and I know this is a different company, but having the same person do it over and over, like, things get missed that way. So.
I think Networks Northwest would actually be able to answer more of the commission's questions, in my opinion.
So do we want to just,
And Laura, have they said when they really wanna start this, or they just wanted to get a planner going?
Yeah, that would be nice, because we're kinda like, what do we do? You know, we
Yeah.
can start at page 1, but is that what we should be doing, or, like,
Mhm.
we don't even, we've got a new zoning administrator, and I'm new chair, so,
let's say we pass this on to the planning commission, and then have them come back next month with the recommendation of what they want. It's, from the Networks Northwest, the basic plan, and then
I guess.
anything else they would like
We're
to
gonna take-
add from the a la carte menu.
Al has a question.
Yeah, I'd like that, then we could review the 2 options,
Yeah.
what they offer.
Okay.
When does this have to be done by? December 2025?
24.
Oh.
Right?
Our master plan is it was in 2020
Okay,
that we got our master plan.
so we have to have a new
So
one
we have to-
in
We
2025.
don't have to have a new one.
Oh,
They just need to be, it needs to be reviewed and changes made by 2025.
By January 2025, or the end of it?
When was ours done, in August?
Or is it fiscal year?
I think, I don't know how that, which way it goes, but I know 5 years is up in 2025.
all right, so. You don't need a motion to say?
No,
No, yeah.
no.
All right. Security cameras. You asked for that to be added?
Yeah, I've had, I don't wanna be nitpicky, I don't want to be, but I've had several pieces of paper that I have either put in a mailbox and then somebody said they never got it. I've had things that have never made it to me, and I just think that with the amount of security cameras that we have everywhere, that maybe we should put some in the main office as well. For instance, today, and I mean, this could be the mail, I don't know. I'd like to put cameras in so I know. I got a call this morning from Honor Bank telling me that there was a form that I needed to fill out for them so we could do automatic transfers and stuff. And I never received that form. So I had to go today and meet with them and fill out the paperwork there so I knew I got it and I knew they got it back. So I just would like, it was just a question that I had. If we're gonna remodel there and also with the amount of papers that are blown away, I'd like to just see where they're going.
Yeah, I'll add that. I'm gonna have them come back out and move the 2 cameras, and then I was gonna get a quote on putting one, so we don't have to move it every election, putting a dedicated one above the box, so I can just add that in. That way we have quotes to actually vote on.
Are there ones in here?
Yep.
In the hallways and in my office, there's cameras.
Yeah, that one was facing your window for your protection.
From my
Yeah.
understanding, it could be
Nope.
moved anywhere. That's what
Well,
Lindsay
you
told me.
gotta,
It can be, but
you
that's
gotta
not,
have somebody go up and undo it, but it was directed towards the window, Linda wanted it towards the window for her protection at the time that was put.
Because there was a certain,
Can we look at, do you have access to that? Because I'm just curious where it's, I mean, I wanna, where the options are for it to be viewed.
You have it on your,
I know I can see that, but I can't move it on there.
Right, you're,
nobody can do it. You have to manually go up, unscrew
Oh, I thought
the,
you could in your
No.
program.
no,
Okay,
and you have the same program I have.
okay.
alright.
Well, it'll zoom in,
Yeah, once you zoom in on something, you can move,
but you can't,
but you
you
can't
really
move
can't,
the
yeah.
camera itself.
So,
Okay, I got
Just
it,
like-
I got
just
it.
like
I
your
thought maybe
phone.
you could electronically like move a little head in there.
no, no,
Okay,
that has to be manually done, adjusted to where you want to point it. So where it's sitting, you might be able to adjust it down or adjust it up. So like when somebody sits at your desk, really you can see like a quarter of their head because it's focused just on that window.
Inland Township Cemetery, Stagecoach Cemetery tree removal.
this was to get it put on the next year's budget. And I did call, Parcels came out, and, can't remember his name. He came out, another guy came out as well, and he never got back with me on this, and Dunscombe never came out, returned a call or anything, so.
For this being so much, and us having a low quorum,
Yep,
I think
yep,
push it back and
That-
try to get more quotes.
bring it up at the next board meeting as well.
Alright, and then, planning commission, recording secretary. Laura's sick of writing all the notes, I want Rose to come do it. So. Make a motion that we allow the planning commission to hire Rose Worth as their recording secretary.
Have a second?
Discussion? Go ahead and roll call.
Zelinski,
if the planning commission wants, or I guess so.
Worth, yes, Davis?
Yes. Any other business come before the board? Alright. Oh, yeah. Alright, Sherry was gonna read this herself before she left, but, dear board members, I hereby submitting my letter of resignation as trustee of the Inland Township Board due to health reasons. I feel I cannot serve the community adequately, so I feel that I must resign, effective December 1, 2023. I would like to continue to serve on the Board and Zone of Appeals if I am able and there is an opening. I would also like to continue to help the clerk with future elections if I am able. It is my sincere hope that I am leaving my township and community better than when I began my tenure as a trustee. I truly tried to be a representative of my community and to work towards improving the community in our small corner of Benzie County. In closing, I would like to thank the community for allowing me to serve on this board. I look forward to seeing you all in the future at board meetings and events and out and about. Sincerely, Sherry Pelosi. So, need a motion to accept your resignation.
If I move that we accept Sherry's resignation with deep regret as a trustee for Inman Township.
I'll second that for her, because I know she wants to.
Roll call?
Zelinski,
Yes.
Worth, yes.
Yes.
Davis, yes.
Well, are we going to,
Post?
post and put an ad in the paper?
Yep.
That's the next thing.
I'll make a motion that we post and put an ad in the paper to replace Sherry.
Record Patriot and Record Eagle?
I think we just need to do the record patriot. Because it's just local, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's my thought.
Yeah, I just,
Is it worth it for 5 months,
Um,
6 months?
I think
It's
so.
still a year. November 2024 is when the new trustee would take from an election.
Yeah, so basically a year.
Yeah.
Do they have to be a
We need to
township
second
resident?
this before we can continue discussion.
I'll second.
Okay.
I think we should pick a date that we put in, to put a resume by, and, I think we should either schedule a special meeting or do it at the next board meeting, because hopefully Sherry will be here, right? No, she won't be here on December 1st. So I think we should do a special meeting.
Has to be 30 days after.
Within 30 days
Within
of,
30 days. Oh,
so, yeah, we're good now.
okay. So, it won't go in the paper until next week.
Is anyone going out of town for Thanksgiving? Or no?
I might actually have to make a trip to Texas somewhere next week and a half.
Do you know when you would be back by?
My mom's having surgery next Thursday, and depends on how that goes.
Right, okay.
So how about, let's not take a chance and not make a rush back.
Right.
Can we do it in December? First week in December?
I'd rather take my chances and have to read, for the last week of November, so we could hopefully have them here for the board meeting.
Yeah.
So if
We did it the Thursday, the 30th,
Okay, it'll
Yeah.
go,
it would be before Sherry resigns, so she could be here.
go in paper on the 22nd.
Resumes due,
Publish resume due by
28th.
28th.
Good.
That's
Okay, to review
not
all.
even a week after the paper. And then we can call a special meeting after that.
No, I can just go and call a special meeting for the 30th. And then just have the resumes due the 28th, and
Okay.
I think a lot of times stuff like this, word of mouth, is gonna get more people than the paper anyway. But
So is trustee not an elected
it
position?
is,
It is an
but
elected.
we have to appoint it because there's no election coming up.
Okay, so you appoint it and then at the next election, then
Well, it'd be,
it's up for grabs.
yeah, it'll be up, 2024 election will be up
Okay.
with all the board members.
Gonna miss her energy.
I hope she's okay. Are you worried about her?
Alright, so 30th,
So you have, get in the paper for next week.
Yeah.
Do by the 28th, and then read in.
30th,
It's a Thursday.
yeah.
And can we pick did we pick a time for that meeting?
6 o'clock. I've only had one citizen tell me that he doesn't like the 6 o'clock, so.
Now look, Alan. Too bad.
Alright, so go ahead and roll call for the paper.
Zelinski?
Yes.
Ward? Yes. Davis?
Yes. Alright. And we'll reopen public comment at 7:45.
Jim Brower again. I'm wondering where I can find a copy of Inland Township's bylaws.
We don't have bylaws, we have a policies and procedures manual
Okay,
we have in the office.
all right. Is it online?
Just, email me and I'll scan it in and email it to you.
Okay.
And then I'll get it posted on the website somewhere.
Thank you.
Yep.
I asked a couple of months ago about the blight form not being correct. It still says joint inland township homestead blight form. Has like old folk numbers. Is that gonna get updated? And then, on your cash summary page, the, ARPA fund, it shows that there was a $400,000 transaction, both a debit and a credit, so it washes each other out, but, just curious what the $400,000 was, considering I don't think anything has been done or spent
Right.
on that. And a couple of months ago, because I wasn't at last meeting, again, looking at the cash summary reports, when you look at the beginning balance, like for this month, it doesn't match the ending balance from last month. And again, I can understand it being, a couple $1,000s off, doing the backdating interest and stuff like that. But, $300,000 and $400,000 difference. I guess I'm confused on that.
Is that still the issue with setting up the sweep account
It is.
correctly?
Yep, it is. They're not set up, right?
Okay,
And then, I don't know why, but it, yeah.
okay.
I don't know why it shows a debit and a credit both, because it, yeah, because it did just cross it out.
And when I looked back at, a couple months prior to that, there was a credit in there, which, the beginning and ending balances didn't match, and then there ended up being a credit to bring it back to the original balance. So, again, I'm not sure why all of that.
Oh, yeah, once the,
Maybe once the sweep account stuff
Yeah.
gets set up
Ours calls
properly.
it InterFi account, other banks call it sweep account,
Oh,
so I
okay.
usually call it sweep account, but to them it's InterFi. So it's all related to that sweep account, it all has to be completely set up correctly yet, and the funds put in the right place.
Okay. So then maybe next month, the beginning and ending balances will match,
That,
hopefully.
yeah,
Hopefully.
other than the interest, I don't know why. it's included.
Yeah, I guess. I guess.
But we got them done on time this month, so, well, the date fell, it was kind of state and mentioned, so maybe they will match next month?
Because they've never matched because your two forms never matched.
No, our forms always
Well,
match, it just doesn't,
posting
it doesn't
correct.
match, the bank statement doesn't match the general ledger, yeah.
Right. Because they're done in different
other public comment?
Laura Trammell again, I just wanna say thank you, I feel like I was heard in the beginning of the meeting, and I like how this went, and, so, obviously, there's still a lot of work to be done, but I appreciate you listening, and I felt heard, so that's important, thank you.
Anybody else?
Do we have a plan for the event committee?
I am still going through things, but do you plan on taking over as chair then? Or are you willing to take over as chair? Because it kind of was left without one. I mean, you were doing it, the job. I don't know if you were ever appointed.
Well, we were
but-
just getting ready to have a meeting to appoint a new
Okay.
person, and then we were canceled, so that's why we don't have one. And we've gotten some really, really good people with great ideas for community-wide events that had just joined.
Right.
So we need to make a decision quick so we don't lose those people.
Okay.
And yeah, there was someone else interested in being the chair. I'm the treasurer, so
Okay. Well, I wasn't sure if you were planning on moving or, all right, so who would be my point of contact for,
It's whoever you appoint.
me for now.
Whoever the board.
But you guys don't
Well-
even have all the names of the people on.
No,
the
I
list, so you
realize
have to
that, but-
Pick one of them.
But we as a
Right,
board
exactly, right.
make that, say, these are the people that
Well-
have said, and we're gonna say, okay, and then they take it to their meeting and they decide.
okay, I was just looking for a point of contact, but.
Well, we just have, we have to be allowed to at least hold a meeting, which we were told we couldn't do, so that we can choose that person and then the board can vote on that person. And we have to get somebody willing.
So when you're done going through your stuff,
Okay,
that's what they want.
you guys meet, it would have been next Wednesday,
No,
The-
Wednesday after.
Wednesday after,
The fourth Wednesday of the month.
okay. I will commit to getting it resolved before then. So that,
Do we have a couple days more leeway so we can let the people know?
right,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
so resolved in time for you guys to
Hold
have
it.
your meeting, yes.
Okay.
So you need to have a board meeting to approve that, them to do that,
Okay.
since it was.
Disbanded.
Are we
Yeah.
closed?
Suspended.
We didn't adjourn yet, we
No,
can
we
make
haven't.
that motion now.
No,
Uh,
right, no, we
Yeah.
didn't adjourn.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'll
That's
make
why
a
I said no.
motion that, no?
Public comment.
Oh,
Yeah,
we're
we're
in public
public
comment.
yeah, we're
Right.
talking. But, either way, we don't need a motion for a special meeting, so I can call it. And-
You can call a special meeting.
Okay, any other public comment? We'll shut up.
Snacks and coffee next time, please.
You gonna make the coffee?
Huh?
You make the coffee?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I bring snacks to the planning commission. I bring